right, man. T.I. goes on a rant after some people are saying Lil Wayne influenced his rap.
That made me a fan of all of their music. Juvenile,
Mm.
400 Degree, all that. Like I'm a fan. I'm from. That's my era. So to see what he's become and what he's evolved into, it's kind of like we always knew it, but to see it coming to fruition is just super dope. And I think he's definitely legendary.
You think
Definitely
you think
legendary.
he kind of like influenced you in somewhat
Excuse me?
way in your music
Nah,
in your music side?
nah, hell no.
Your tip on your
Nah,
own.
yeah. He ain't influenced. Nah, hell no. No. That ain't what I say. I ain't said that. I ain't said no shit like that.
Yo,
I mean, but we do push each other, you know what I'm saying? Like, we push each other for, like, when I hear him do something dope, I'm like, oh, okay. Let me go and do something doper. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what it takes to evolve and set the game on another level. But I think, man, Wayne got his own lane, and I got mine.
All right, I mean that's fair. I think everybody has, in especially from the inception of anything, Michael Jordan, he had to get his shit from somewhere. Wilt had to get his shit from somewhere. George Mikan had to get his stuff from somewhere. Oscar Roberts had to get his shit from somewhere. So there always are influences. Believe it or not, there's always influences. And I know a lot of people hate to admit it, but there's always influences. So Ti was influenced from somewhere. It didn't necessarily have to be Wayne, but yeah, I don't. I mean, roughly the same era. Wayne was out first as a child actor, and then he manifested into something else. He evolved into a really good rapper. I prefer Ti. I'm not a big Lil Wayne fan. He's not amongst one of my favorite rappers of all time. I say that time and time again, and people, how can I not be? Just not a huge fan. Just like some people just be like, well, not a huge fan of Jay-Z. Hey, I respect it. But then a lot of those people would turn around and they really can't tell you, ain't really never heard none of Jay-Z's albums. I've heard Lil Wayne album. Had one, had two, had three, had 500 Degrees. You know what I'm saying? So most people don't listen to the albums. I say that over and over again. I think T.I. has some of the best albums. Any rapper, he has some of the best discoveries. I don't really think he has a bad album. I don't know. I didn't listen to him much past Paper Trail. Somebody in the comment section was saying No Mercy or something like that was a really good album. So maybe I would go back and listen to that. But I had I'm Serious. And that was before he really blew up. Trap music, Urban Legend, King, Ti versus Tip, the ATL. The King, that was kind of like the ATL soundtrack. Um, Paper Trail, hellified, rapper. But they was pretty much in they different lane. I feel like Lil Wayne was more kind of like that East Coast. He was more that East Coast punchline rapper. Tip was, Tip was Tip. Tip had his own style, kind of Southern twang with kind of his own lyrical influence from the Southern Urban Dictionary. When he had great appearances. I mean, people around here ain't never scared. I mean, so and the people in the comment section that said they seen him as a performer says he's a really good performer. He's a really good performer, but I mean, hellified rapper, man. He's one of my favorite rappers, has some of my favorite discoveries of all time. So, but yeah, a lot of these dudes, even if some of these dudes influence them, that they see as equals, it's hard for them to be like, okay, I got my influence from them because it's competitive. I was listening to Mike Epps today. He was talking about, why he didn't put Dave Chappelle on his Mount Rushmore. He put all OGs on there: Robin Harris, Eddie Murphy, Aaron Pryor, and I forgot the other guy he had put on there. And it was, oh no, Dave Chappelle. Look here, I say this about Dave Chappelle, and maybe I might do a video on it coming up. Dave Chappelle is an acquired taste. Dave Chappelle is an acquired taste. Everybody doesn't find Dave Chappelle funny. And then when you kind of get into intellectual comedians, especially in the urban community, everybody doesn't find those. Everybody doesn't like that. That's why, and I was kind of talking about Stranger Things and all that type of stuff about the intellectual, part of character development and dialogue that Stranger Things was doing. They pretty much, instead of putting a bunch of action into this season, what they pretty much was doing was trying to explain everything as far as the whole franchise Upside Down, Vecna, the history of the Mind Flayer and all that. They were doing more explaining and dialogue and development. And once you learn about the urban community, they don't like things that make them think. They don't like things that makes them, put theories together. And that's why I feel like sci-fi and documentaries or historian things is really good. They pull us in with like slave masters and it's, but when you start really getting into, intellectual and you get into things that's deep, that need development and theories and stuff like sci-fi and historical relics and all that stuff like that, you don't really get that, in the Black community. They just want digestible things. And now you're starting to see that ignorance kind of spew out into this new generation where now 90-second clips, 60-second clips is what they want. They don't have the attention spans. And, I was hearing Bossman D-Lo say he heard making shorter songs were more popular, so he made his songs shorter and shorter. So they don't even have the attention spans to listen anymore, which is beyond me. So, so when you start to get into the intellectual side of things, it's just not really popular in the urban community. And I feel like that's sad, it's sad. But to be honest, it's kind of hard to say one of your peers is inspired or I'm gonna say inspiring or inspired you or something like that. I think it's hard for them to admit that because they're equals. They see each other as peers in competition. And that's kind of pretty much what Mike Epps was kind of saying. It's like, me and Mike is like that. I just look at these guys as my OGs, so I put them above me. And that's how it should be. These who came before me, these who had an impact on my career, and this is who I get credit, and these are the OGs. But like I said, with Dave Chappelle is an acquired taste. Chris Rock is an entire acquired taste in the Black community because of their intellectual prowess and how they set their jokes up. And for the most part, you've seen a complete plummet of conscious rap. It's never been a bunch of them, but there's not much conscious rap on mainstream anymore. But that's a different story for a different day. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and the subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live or drop a video. Like I said, check out the music and entertainment playlist. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. Peace.